made originally in 1994, a very, very long time ago, before I was even born. Give you just a little bit of a clue of how old I am. Nintendo made this game, and a lot of people liked it. Hello everyone, I'm Dellierian, and today we are going to be playing Metroid 3, also known as Super Metroid. Now, this is also, I'm not going to say my first Let's Play I've ever done, but this is the first Let's Play I've done in a very long time. And while I do streaming, oh boy, we're in for a treat, I'm sure. Now, I do remember that the controls for this game on default are not great, that you want to switch it up right away, and to do that, I'm going to go, what should we do? You know, I haven't played this game in a very long time. I have played this game before, but not in a very, very long time. So this is going to be a little bit interesting, but I would say, just trying to, I have my hands on the controller right now, trying to figure out exactly what orientation I would play in. I'd probably do shot as Y, maybe? Jump is A, or as B. Dash is A. Item select is Y. And then item cancel is select. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We're not going to need any of the special settings modes. I've never done any of that. And we're going to go with English text just because this is a Let's Play and it's easier to understand that way.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Was there always voice acting? I don't remember there being voice acting. Oh, there you are. There's no voice acting here. I first battled the Metroids on planet Zebes. It was there that I foiled the plans of the space pirates' leader, Mother Brain, to use the creatures to attack galactic civilization. This is the events of the very first Metroid right here. Now, I've played all of the Metroids, I want to say, except for like Federation Force. I next fought the Metroids on their homeworld, SR-388. I completely eradicated them except for a larva, which after hatching followed me like a confused child. This is the events of Metroid 2 right here, which I've also played. I played the original version. You know, I think there's a remake of Metroid 2 or something that has a map. A map would have been really nice in that game. Because let me tell you, playing that game without a map was a real treat. I personally delivered it to the Galactic Research Station at Ceres so scientists could study its energy production or producing qualities. Its energy producing qualities. And this is where we get into the start of this game right here. The scientists' findings were astounding. They discovered that the powers of the Metroid might be harnessed for the good of the civilization. You know, it always is just hopeful it's going to go that way. We all know it isn't, but it's always hopeful. Satisfied that all was well, I left the station to seek a new bounty to hunt. But I had hardly gone beyond the asteroid belt when I picked up a distress signal. Ceres Station was under attack. Dun dun dun. So, I have played this game before. I will put that out. And you know, some people like freak out when you say you haven't played Super Metroid. There's a lot of people who haven't played Super Metroid. There's babies being born every year that haven't played Super Metroid. It's not a requirement for living. But I have played this. I am playing this on the Switch. I'm not sure, you know, at the bottom they have that little menu thing there. I haven't figured out if I'm going to get rid of that or not. So I'm just looking at the stats like that. So like dashing is going to be a very, that's fine for the time being. I might change the controls up later on. Now, I actually did used to speedrun this game. Oh, I'm going to have to switch. Yeah, I will have to switch the controls around. I just realized what this was, and I'm going to have to do it separately. So you know, I'll figure it out between episodes. But I'll explain what the controls that I will do now that I understand. I'm going to switch with the current shoot button and the current run button are most likely, just because it's more comfortable to play that way. But anyways, I have speedrun or this game before. It's just been a very long time, and don't expect that out of this. You know, it's been probably about 10 years since I last tried to do this game very quickly. Oh, would you look at that? It's our buddy. You know, okay, let's go. Take him home. Take him home. Oh, it's not our buddy. It's Ridley. So, You know, this fight is actually scripted. You're supposed to lose for the most part. You can win actually, but it's very difficult. If your HP goes below, if I remember correctly, it's below 29 HP, then the fight just ends. So speedrunners will actually just, you know, get here and be hit as much as possible because it's faster to actually end the fight quickly than to go ahead and try to beat him. And anyways, he's out of here, and it's time for us to leave. Self-destruct sequence activate, evacuate colony immediately. Yes, sirree. The ever so famous Metroid escape sequences that everyone loves without any doubt. There's just not any animals to save at the end of this one. Now, just a heads up, you know, some games that I do will be very, you know, won't spoil anything or won't have any references from later in the game. This game is, at this point, over 20 years old. 25 years old, if I'm doing my math correct. It's, what, 26 now? So, I will maybe be making references to certain parts, especially the speedrunning community, but of other stuff like that. And while I won't be doing speedrunning tricks, and, you know, there's a lot of speedrunning tricks that I do not remember how to do, stuff like the mock ball and the such, there are a lot of those things that I know about, those tricks that I know about, that I'll at least try to mention as I'm going through this. Again, some of this stuff it's been a very long time. I used to play Super Metroid a lot way back in the day, and then, you know, just kind of fell out. So Planet Zebes. I don't remember exactly, but this should be where the events of Metroid 1 took place, and now also the events of this game, Super Metroid, Metroid 3. Metroid 2 takes place on a different planet. And so do all the future games. I don't think you ever return to any of the original games' places. They all take place in different worlds. I know the Prime games are all separate, and Zero Mission does take place, but in the same place, but it's a little bit special. And then, of course, you have your, whatever you call it, what's it called? The one with the X. What's the one with the X, guys? Now, there is a couple things that I'd like to point out. I'm not sure if I can do it. You can wall jump in this game. I'm going to try to see if I can do it. I'm playing this. The other thing is, like, I don't like usually I would play this on a D-pad, but the D-pad on the Switch Pro controller sucks. But you can wall jump off of these walls. Now, the important thing, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it here. Again, it's been a very long time since I did it. I'm not going to spend too much time doing it. Is you can do wall jumps off of one wall, which is important because if you're doing a speed run, you can get to places you're really not supposed to get. The other thing is we don't have it yet, but there is bomb jumping. Those are the two kind of like real big, everyone knows. I don't want to even call them speedrunning techniques, just things that you do. But anyways, we're here. Let's run and see if we can figure out what happened to the Metroid. You know, the best place to look is where we found it last time. Or not where we found it last time, but where we know there's a chance that trouble is a-brewing. Now here, I believe this is a save room. No, it is not. There is a save room somewhere in here. But this will be 100% run to the best of my abilities. Now, I'm not, again, looking at a guide or anything. How I'm playing this is, you know, if I can get through this game without looking at a guide or anything like that, then I definitely will. And see if I can do it there. It's a good room to practice that one-sided speedrunning, or one-sided wall jumps. You see how there you go. So I did it once there. Try it again. See, like that. You know, and I'm not very good at that trick. And throughout the game, I'll get better, but I don't want to abuse stuff like that too much. That's definitely not intended, I would say, to get through the game, because especially once wall jumps really change how easy the game is if you get good at them. Same thing with bomb jumping. So if you get good at bomb jumping, it will change how the game plays. You know, it'll be a lot easier to do certain things and a lot harder to do other things. So anyways, we come down here and we go into the area that really was the start of the very first Metroid game. If you come over here, we even have the same power-up, if I believe, which is the Morph Ball. Or Morphing Ball, I guess. I'm not sure if that's different. Again, this is a Japanese copy of the game, so to speak. I'm playing this. Hi, Betty. You have a friend. Well, did you look at that? He's interested in us. So we can go ahead and shoot this and then make our way back out. Now, we can actually go up. There is one thing I'd like to show off over here. I believe it's over here. So if we go through... Oh, we might actually need missiles before we do that. Let me take a look here. So you can go in here. There's a room here that you can actually get a power up early if you're really good at bomb jumping or wall jumps. And I'm not going to do it, but I would like to show it off. So you get your missiles here. And missiles are like the traditional, let's kill the enemy, kill the boss kind of weapon. You know, you have charge shots for when you run out. But if you're fighting a boss or really anything of that nature, you're going to be using missiles. So if we go here, red doors take 5 missiles to destroy, or later in the game you'll get an upgrade called super missiles. And those super missiles, it takes 1 super missile to open a door. Now if we go here, I believe, is it this block right here? It's one of these blocks up there. This one right here, you can actually bomb jump up to that for 1. And I'm not very good at it. You can bomb jump in midair, and I'm not going to be able to do it on this controller. But essentially you jump, and then midway through the thing, you place a bomb, and you keep on going. So I'll try it, but you know what you're supposed to do is you can. I don't remember if you can do it with this jump. You know, you can do it with the space jump, or the not the space jump, but the, you know, the high jump boots, which you get later in the game. You can wall jump and shoot and get that, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. If I remember correctly, if you actually go underneath here, there's more missiles as well. So again, I'm going to be doing my best to remember where things are. I haven't done a complete playthrough of this game in, again, 10 years, and even then I was speedrunning it, and I don't do that anymore. I know those tricks, but it's really just for namesake. And also, I'm playing this on a analog controller. I'm playing it on a thumbstick, not on a D-pad, because, again, the D-pad for the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is not good. Other than that, I love the controller, but yeah, the D-pad is in a really bad position and not all that great. So I'm not using that to play, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would. Usually, when I've played this game in the past, I would use actually the PS3 controller. It was probably what I've played it on the most recently, and I like that the D-pad on that, and the PS4 controller is even better. So we'll go ahead and do this. Now, when the doors are grayed out, like it is behind, I'll show that properly. That means you can't leave the room until you've killed all the enemies. And there's a couple cases where, like this room is not an issue. But there's a couple cases where you want to open up both doors before you leave. Because if you kill the enemies and then open up both doors, they will remain unlocked. So they'll flash like this. And then if we leave the room and come back, I'll show it off real quick. It will stay blue. There are some rooms, like if you leave the room and come back, this door will remain blue. But the other door on the other side will still be locked because it's still in a locked state. That won't take place until a little bit further on, but it is something to note ultimately. Now if we go up here, we can go ahead and go bouncy, bounce, bounce. Get our way up. Again, not super difficult. And I would argue that this game is not super difficult if you're playing it 100%. The difference is, like, speedrunning it is definitely a different process. I do remember that. And it's one of those things, what controller you use actually matters a lot, but how natural the game feels changes a lot of that. So, like, going through and playing on a controller that you're really comfortable with versus a controller that's like not responsive can really change how easy it is to play the game. Now, enemies will drop power-ups or energy or missiles if you have lack, but once you have filled up on all your missiles and all that, they actually will stop dropping stuff like that, so you don't have to really worry about grinding or anything like that when it comes down to it. So we can go over to the right here. I'm trying to remember what's in a lot of these rooms. One of these should be a map room if I remember correctly. Or a save room. I'll rate this room. We can get, oops, don't want to waste missiles if we can. Like this room can be a real, rooms like these with a lot of little enemies can be a real pain until you get later power-ups that makes just shooting and annihilating everything much, much easier. See, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do as far as the button layout because I can't run like this. It's so difficult to run. But yeah, here's the map room. So the other thing that's become popular in recent years is randomizers, and one of the randomizers that, you know, I've heard of is the, would you even call it? The Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer. So for people who know the game, rooms like this are really, they don't use them. So they actually link to the other game. Those are really interesting to go look up if you're interested. I've never done one, but I've always wanted to go ahead and play the Link to the Past and Super Metroid one. But anyways, here's Criteria, the area that we are currently in. You can see that there's several areas we can go into from here. It's like a big hub. We have Brinstar, Rickship, Meridia, and then finally we have Brinstar. And then, you know, Old Brinstar, essentially. Old Brinstar, of course, being where the events of the very first game took place. It's also, again, turn missiles off. Now, I'm not sure exactly how long this will take. That's the other thing I'm a little bit interested to see as I play through this game is... Oh, this is not a very long game, I would say. But it really depends on how good are you at it. And I'm not good. I'm bad at video games. So we can't do that. We need bombs. I'm going to go ahead and... Let's just go up and grab those real quick. Because they're very close to here, actually. Go up. Let's make our way up. Now, there's stuff in these rooms. And actually, there is a save room there. But I'll catch the save room action on the way back. Because I'm not too concerned about getting that right now. If we go ahead and just pop him. And here's the, why can't Metroid crawl space right here. Morph ball into there. Come down. Actually, probably should have hooked up on just a little bit of energy. I'm running a hair low. That's fine. That's what this room is for. You can annihilate these guys a little bit from a distance. If you can, and then you're not so worried about being hit. I am going to have to get used to, like, the triggers being your aim deals. It doesn't feel quite natural on this controller. There we go. So now we're pretty much back up to full. Man, they do a lot of damage for being little buggies. There we go. Don't need to fight anymore. We have full energy. Go here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go here, and here's another little power-up. Got the bombs, which is really important. I'm going to see if I can show off bomb jumping probably in the beginning of the next episode. But, you notice that the door is gray, which is bad. Put on our missiles because it's very clear. Oh, there's an enemy in this room somewhere. How have you betrayed us? So, some people are very conservative about using missiles in a lot of boss fights. I'm not. If you have them, use them. Missiles do more damage than your regular shot at this point. It's until you get, like, the plasma beam or the plasma shot or whatever it's called much later in the game that you really have to worry about, conserving missiles, or there's other weapons that are more powerful. Just use them. And you see, using missiles there makes that fight so much quicker. The dodge is a little claw thing. You can actually crouch down there, but it's not really worth the time. You have enough energy at this point that you're not going to die from that. And we have bombs. And actually, considering that we do now have bombs, I think that is an excellent place for us to end this first episode. I thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys have all enjoyed your time here, and I will see you guys next time. See you then.